day your dog is faced with many deadly, harmful things that you may not know. He just as something as simple as a trash can possibly kill him. I'm going to tell you about what is toxic to your dog, how that affects your dog, and how to avoid contact with these toxins. First, I'm going to tell you exactly and explain exactly what is toxic to your dog. There are many things that can be deadly or harmful to your dog. Medications, for example, are also really dangerous for your dog. The Complete Healthy Book, Dog Guide book, agrees with me, I agree with it, that aspirins and Advil are very dangerous to your dog because they can cause liver damage. Antibiotics and steroids are also very harmful, and chemotherapy drugs should only be taken by people. They should never become in contact with your dog. Plants also don't want your pet alive. They're very harmful. Poinsettias, which is very popular around the Christmas time season, are both harmful to cats and dogs. And chamomile, which is used in a lot of gardens with tea, and people put it in teas, is also very deadly when ingested. There's also many of the more poisonous and more common comes from your kitchen table, and that would be anything that's fruits like raisins or grapes, or fruit pits and seeds. They also have onions and garlic, and chocolate, which especially the dark chocolate is very poisonous, and xylitol, which Snopes, the website Snopes, has confirmed that it is not a myth. It is a sugar substitute that is found in vitamins, gum, and cough drops. Now that you know what is poisonous to your dog and how it affects them, or now that you know what is poisonous to your dog, I'm going to tell you how it affects them so that you can see the signs and symptoms. Cyanide poisoning comes from apple seeds and pits from fruits. Actually have cyanide poisoning in them, so you and your pet shouldn't ingest them. You're more likely to be okay, but your dog is much smaller, so it's not going to be able to handle it. And symptoms of cyanide poisoning is dilated pupils, skin irritation, fever, dehydration, and lethargy. And then there's also as little as 4 grapes can cause your dog to have kidney damage. And to know whether or not your dog has eaten or ingested any kind of grapes or raisins, they'll have drunken walking, loss of appetite, abdominal pain, and eventually renal failure or death. As little as garlic and onions can also be extremely toxic to your pets. As little as this spaghetti sauce, garlic and spaghetti sauce can cause something called Heinz anemia, which will be shown in pale gums and rapid heart rate and bloody urine, and they could eventually die from it. And now that you know exactly what the effects are, I'm going to tell you how to avoid contact so that your pet doesn't ever need to go to the vet or emergency or possibly die. The best way you can do is to get a tall trash can. If you don't have a tall trash can or you can't get one, then the best thing you can do is put it in a pantry so that it's hidden away or some other place where your dog cannot find it or smell it or see it. You also should pick up anything that you drop. Nothing should be like, don't wait and just decide to pick it up later. It should be picked up immediately because your dog will find it before you do. Keep emergency contact list and food list so that you can, on your refrigerator, so that you know exactly what it is, and it should be updated regularly because they're constantly finding new things that could harm your dog. So if your pet does ingest this, then if your pet is not already vomiting, you should make it throw up. And the best way to do that is to take hydrogen peroxide, 3%, that's just standard, you can find it at any kind of store. And you get a teaspoon or 5 milliliters for every 10 pounds of weight your dog is. And the best way to get your dog to eat that is to mix it with a very small amount of vanilla ice cream so that they can't tell they're eating it. If they're refusing to try and ingest it, then you're going to have to force it down its throat with a syringe, which is very hard to do. So now that you know exactly how it is, or exactly what is toxic to your pets, how to avoid contact, and what affects them, I hope that you will realize how painful it is for pets to be poisoned and take the appropriate precautions to avoid contact with these substances.